Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. It is Shelby here with Tyler, and today it's a softball, thank you softball episode, right? Y'all had an amazing season, took us on a fun ride, a lot of memories, a lot of history made, a lot of records broken, both on the field and off the field. So we're going to go through all that. We have some of our favorite moments from the season. If you're watching this live, it is live. If you happen to be watching, you can drop your own favorite moments in the comments. We'll talk about them. If you're watching on replay, drop your favorite moments into the comments below, and we'll talk about them with you on there, discuss them. But these are just some of our favorites. It was really hard to pick, so you can be mad at us. But we picked a few of our favorites. We'll show highlights from those. And then, of course, we do have some updates on the portal, comings and goings of that, because that has been going. That'll be at the end, but we'll have constant transfer news episodes on their own over the coming weeks when that happens. So we'll get to that. And we may be having one of the players from this year's team on the show here within the next week or so. So subscribe so you can get that as well. But that's a tease, I think is what they call that, Tyler. But yeah, like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, softball. Let's get into it, Tyler. How's it going? We've had a few days to debrief from the season.
I know. It was crazy. I was telling someone the other day that series being Wednesday through Friday has messed my whole head up with how scheduling works. Because, you're like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was like, oh, wait, I actually have the whole weekend, like, after softball.
I had no idea it was Monday yesterday.
Yeah, literally. But no, I've rested, and yeah, I've reflected on the season. It was just such a great season. I was just so incredibly proud of this group. Again, just thinking about that very first game that we played against Marshall, and then you end up in game 3. I mean, you got to play every single game possible in the softball season, and that's just a huge accomplishment. I was proud to see that all USA softball, D1 softball America, that they respected us and put us at that number 2 spot. Granted, everyone would think that, but sometimes those rankings at the end of the year get really weird, and they're like, all right, this was a mishap, fluke. But no, it wasn't a fluke. They respected us, gave us the number 2 spot respectfully. So yeah, it's just been so great. I'm really glad to see all these new Texas Tech softball fans. Y'all keep that same energy when season ticket renewals or new season ticket holders come out. Fall ball. I mean, we have to pack the rock now. Like, this is now our sport. So come join the train. Let's do it. Yeah, we're a softball school, 100%.
And you saw that. We were both there for the welcome back ceremony, whatever it was called, on Sunday. I guess it was. Days are hard, but I think it was Sunday when they did that. That was really cool. And like, we were standing there and they were signing autographs for like a half hour or something. And I took that video, I'll post it on Twitter. And that line was still to the other opposite foul pole. They were out there for like a solid hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, signing autographs in the hot sun. I'm sure they were tired. I'm sure at first that was probably the last place they wanted to be there, which I get. But I hope they felt the love and they saw the love. And then you saw the softball world react to that. Like, we had Amanda Scarborough retweet our things like, wow, like, this is what Texas Tech fans are doing for a team that didn't even win it. They're national runner-ups. But that's how much this community fell in love with them and how much people fell in love with softball. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of people that are interested in softball here. They have seen the light, Tyler. It's not just that we won. They fell in love with the sport, and they can't get enough of it now, and they're trying to learn the ins and outs of it, and it makes me want to cry. I love it. I love that they're here. We even had someone in our DMs the other day asking about how students get to go to the games because their kids are getting, I guess they aren't kids, they're about to be freshmen in college. They're starting Texas Tech, and they were asking them like, hey, we know we got tickets to football, but hey dad, we have tickets to softball too, right? Like, this is what they were asking their dad. They wanted to make sure their tuition and all that was set up so they had tickets to softball. And so they messaged us to make sure, and we had to explain like, yeah, it's just like any other sport. As long as you get there early, you can get into the softball game. But that's where the softball is. Like, people cannot wait to get to campus and go to the softball games. So I'm hyped. You can go in the fall. We'll talk all about that and talk about that more once the season gets here. But yeah, they did some special stuff this year, and we're going to run through it. So we got a lot of history was made. Hold on, we got questions in the comments. First of all, Richard, that was a great moment, and spoiler alert, that might be one of the highlights that we have coming up for you. Once we get to that segment, we'll be there in probably about 10 minutes, but that was one. Nope, we didn't. This one's just on YouTube, Roger. This is not live on Twitter right now, but you can go tweet about it and let people know that we're live if you would like to do that. Let the world know. We just did a pop-in live on YouTube, so just a YouTube special. But we'll post it tomorrow on Twitter for the people. But history made. I know that I'm probably missing some of these, but we're going to run through it for you. The first ever regular season Big 12 championship. First ever Big 12 tournament championship. First NCAA regional win, like as in winning the whole thing. First super regional win, winning first super regional appearance, and then we won the whole damn thing. Went to Florida State, upset them. They were not happy I was there in person. So many Seminole tears. It was great. That means it was also their first college World Series appearance, first college World Series win against Ole Miss in that first game, first college World Series Champ Series appearance. We'll let Tyler do this here. I think that's all the first, besides just all the different things that they did this year, individual first and all that. But then there was a lot of like hits and all that. Tyler, you take it away from here, and I'll answer Roger in the comments while we're doing. I got you, Roger.
We got the most wins in program history at 54 wins, most Big 12 wins at 20, most hits with 550, most stolen bases at 109. That was crazy. We were like the base stealing team in the country, just chaos all around. Shout out to Maya and Logan and Michaela Garcia and everybody was just on point when they were stealing their bases. And the most shutouts thrown at 26. 26 people were not able to score against us. 26 teams. That's, well, maybe like, if we played them twice, but still, that's a lot.
That's also the most in the country, by the way.
Wow. Okay. Best in the country. Yeah. Not surprised there. So, wow. So, schools were just dreading to play us. We had 2 no-hitters and 1 perfect game, and most double plays turned at 32.
It might actually be 33 because shout out Alexa Langliers. I don't think that number had added in the one that she did on her own in that final game where she made that diving stop and threw it first. So I think that might be 33 to end the year.
33. All right.
Yeah, that was a school record. The perfect game we'll bring up in a minute. A lot of people assume that was old Nigel Kennedy, but it was not. It was not. Somebody else on the team had that perfect game. A few more records. I mean, they just shattered stuff at the World Series. It was the most watched World Series ever, y'all. 1.3 million viewers watched. The most finals, they watched the finals specifically game. 2.2 million viewers. The most watched record, game 3 on record, 2.4 million, which is also the most watched softball game of all time.
Wow.
Is it a coincidence? Did it just happen that this year's viewership was up 24% from last year? Or was it because old Texas Tech and all of our fun personalities and storylines were involved? I mean, math is math, Tyler. 8 games eclipsed 1 million viewers, and the NCAA tournament overall, not just the World Series, was up 3%. Almost 500,000 more viewers, I think is what that's saying there. Overall. So this team was a part of smashing records at Texas Tech and smashing records worldwide or nationwide in softball. They became legends. Arguably, our team had 2 of the most viral moments. I think they had the most viral moment when Michaela Garcia stole home. I think that was everywhere. That was on every sports platform possible. So she became like the viral superstar of the tournament, and she is a role player at that point in her career, a sophomore, right? So that was cool. The Vic Valdez moment was huge. I mean, everybody was making the memes about her blowing through the stop sign, supposedly. Like, our team was just capturing the hearts of America and having fun while doing it. It's kind of hard to like say you were the underdog or whatever when you have the best player in the country, but we were. We had never been there. We're playing, even you get to the Champ Series and you're playing a team that had been there 3 out of the last 4 years. It's your first time there, and you were that close to winning the whole thing. Like, it was pretty special, Tyler. So kudos to them. I hope they feel proud about that. I know players are making choices to move here, move there, but they're always going to be a part of this team, and it's cool that they were the group that did this. So I know it was the whole "our shot at forever" was their motto, and they're not going to have their names on the wall because they didn't win the whole thing, but I say put a plaque at the stadium. I'm not even kidding, with all their names on it, because they were the first to do all these things, and they set all these records, and they did all these things. Like, they'll be remembered forever, as far as I'm concerned, because of all that, because they were the first, and they did these pretty cool things on and off the field. So they should be proud of that. I know Red Raider Nation is very proud of them for that.
Yeah, we weren't even, expected to make it out of a super regional. We were expected to make it to a super regional. We weren't expected to make it out.
Not when they were paired with Florida State, yeah.
Exactly. And the fact that we were able to do all that is just impressive. And Yeah, there's a bunch of UT people. They're like, oh yeah, we had all these people watch us, but it's like, actually, first of all, we ended OU's dynasty. We ended their no, so we got
Spoiler
all
alert.
rid of that OU fatigue. Second of all, like we were the team that's now new because Texas has been there so many times, and we were being nice, and we're like, all right, Mike White, like whatever, get your one win only, and then you'll never have it again because we're gonna beat y'all next year. But like, I think that this was the Najee Kennedy effect, the Jerry Glasgow effect. Everyone fell in love with this team, the moves we made last summer, and I just think that these 2.4 millions, there's a bunch of softball players right now that watch that and they're like, all right, I want to be a part of Texas Tech when I'm older. They have class. I think we had the most class out of a lot of people in this tournament. We handled things very well. Jerry was very well spoken about handling the NIL and the things that came with that this year. I really think that Texas Tech just showed out and just showed the country, what that West Texas toughness is all about. And I mean, we really did that. I mean, I think that's really cool that we're part of the record books. Yeah, sure, we didn't get the win, but I'm going to convince myself otherwise that we were the reason why that many people wanted to tune in and watch us. So
I think I think
I mean,
I mean, listen, Texas deserves a big chunk of that. Yes, they're a part of it, but they had been there 3 out of the last 4 years and they weren't breaking these records. Now all of a sudden
no.
we're here. There's only one, math, whatever.
Also, attendance
Here.
records broken
Yeah,
as well,
attendance
and they were
records
like,
at
"You can't do
the
that with
not
when
without
OU's been there."
OU. Oh
Oh,
no!
don't forget it's
What is
like
the
a
sport
3-hour
gonna
drive from
do
Dallas.
with
Oh wow.
Oklahoma? Yeah, people don't realize our fan base. I think they learned about their fan base. I think they learned where the F Lubbock is for a lot of them, and that it's not too far from Oklahoma City. UCLA might have learned that. Yeah, just a good time. I hope our fans keep that same energy when we're back next year, and it's not a new thing. Now it's like, hey, let's go every year and just make a vacation about it. Good times, awesome event, a lot of fun. We have some moments. We have one moment from the World Series in our top moments of the year. Could have put a bunch of them in there. We mentioned the Still at Home. At first, that was in mine. And then I was like, I had to bump it. But that was an honorable mention for sure. But we have a lot of them. So let's get into it. What is one of your top moments of the year, Tyler? And I'll fire up the highlights for it.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with my top moment of the year as our first top 25 win versus Nebraska. We were down 5-0 in this game. It was on MLB Network. Everybody in the softball world was getting so mad at Jerry for not starting Nyjah in this game. Nyjah actually never played in this game. This was all led by a mixture of Chloe and I think Brenly in this game. And we came back down 5-0. Nyjah 3-run homer in the 6th inning, and then Alana reached on air to walk it off in the 7th, and we were able to get Maya Davis in and score the game-winning run. Hint: Maya Davis will do that like a lot of times the rest of the season. So that was a hint at
Common
it. But
theme.
I love this because, we had come off of that really heartbreaking loss to Mississippi State. We were having to crawl back against Iowa and Penn State. And I think finally we got to, or not Iowa, but it was against Penn State. We had to crawl back and beat them. And I think that this game we were just like, all right, let's crawl back again. Let's do it. Let's get our first top 25 win of the season. And I think that this game really set the standard that we knew this team was tough. We knew that they were absolutely capable of making it to the Women's College World Series. So let's enjoy this moment
These
again.
Highlights. Yeah, this was a good time, man. It's going to take me back.
Is on the board for the first time today. Ball delivers, and that ball is hit to center. It is deep, and it is gone.
The first chance the world got to see Nyjah, the hitter, as a Texas Tech player right there.
Homer.
She was so hyped. Oh, man. That picture with Reagan Jennings and Nyjah celebrating is a classic. I hope they both have it framed forever.
And that's towards short.
There's Michaela Garcia.
Shortstop aired. Boom.
Texas Tech.
There we go.
Is going to win it.
Was that Alana that hit that? I can't remember. Yeah.
Yes, Alana hit it.
Good stuff.
And then
yeah.
Shortstop aired it.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of, Texas Tech, you beat us, but it was with 3 unearned runs. And that was the beginning of us having to fight with Nebraska people in the comments and explain to them that unearned runs are about pitching. It has nothing to do with the rest of it. However you score is you score, all runs are earned, just not to the pitcher. But the offense earns all runs, and that became a theme of the season as well. We forced people into errors, and that was the start of it for sure. So, yeah, that was a good time for the people that weren't there.
was super.
Oh, Roger in the comments. Yeah, you put pressure bust pipes, and that was a good start to it. I'll go with the next one. We'll start with Nyjah Kennedy. She's from Kansas, y'all. Comes to Texas Tech, transfers here, but we're gonna play Kansas. We all know this. We all know this game's on the horizon. We go up to Kansas, the Kansas Jayhawks, for her homecoming game, is what it was called. There was, packed house. They were all there to see Nyjah. It was like a Texas Tech home game, but they were just cheering for Nyjah because she is about from 30 minutes away, Topeka, Kansas, to Lawrence, Kansas. A really special moment no matter what. But then our girl goes out there, Tyler, and doesn't just have a gem. She throws a no-hitter with 14 strikeouts in only 5 innings, because I believe it was a run rule. And she still had 14 strikeouts. So we have the highlights from this, and I just want to preface it with saying they're backwards. I can't control that. But there was some sort of technical difficulty apparently with the broadcast, so the team's highlights are backwards, but you can still enjoy them. So you have to go from the end to the beginning and just see a bunch of strikeouts. 14 of them.
State back in February. 3-2. Strike 3 called. Her 14th strikeout. Swing and a miss.
She was just cooking them.
There we go.
Change from Kennedy.
Really on command and
They're swinging at everything.
Did she go? Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. It's hurting my brain that these are backwards, but it's kind of fun.
Strike 3 call.
But I guess it wasn't. For some reason, I thought it was in 5 innings. That must have been the day before where she had like a one-hitter in 5 innings. But this was a full 7-inning no-hitter.
Strike 3. Strike 3 called. 5th strikeout.
That's an accurate description, Roger. Her changeup, she gets a lot of hype for her rise ball because of speed, and rightfully so, but her changeup is devastating.
Swing and a miss.
Nasty changeup.
Up high. Kennedy.
All right, guys, y'all get the gist. I don't want to. My brain hurts because these are all out of order. I don't even know what's going on in these highlights. Just trust us. She had a no-hitter against Kansas. Again, their broadcast was a little hairy, so I'm going to give the school some grace on that. You can go watch maybe rewatch the game, but that was one of the coolest moments of the season because, again, to go home was one thing, to show out in front of your family is another. To get a no-hitter is something special. So shout out Nyjah. Not the first no-hitter in her career, not the last, but was a special moment for sure. What do you got next?
I got Lauren Allred and Demi Elder hit homers. I don't know if it was necessarily back-to-back, but it was fairly close to each other. I think in the 6th inning to beat Arizona and win the series. So granted, remember, we were down 0-1 in the series. Arizona got that first game. The second game, we blew them out. And now we're in this game. Arizona tied it up 2-2. I was stressed out, and I was like, we cannot lose to Arizona because we knew that this series was crucial into locking pretty much a Big 12 championship. Yeah, we had to go win some more games, but if we could get this one, it was huge. Lauren Allred comes up to bat and is super clutch and just puts Devin Netz and these Wildcats to rest.
Big 12 Player of the Year voted.
Yes.
We all know who the Player of the Year was, but she was voted the Player
I
of the Year.
know, lame. But yeah, we can go watch the Big 12 Player of the Year and see how she is when it comes to games that matter. So let's take a roll and watch this.
Sure.
moments.
Oh, fun story anecdote to this. If you missed it, Lauren Allred was interviewed after this game about this hit, and they asked her what was going through her head, and it's just the typical Lauren answer. She said, well, I was told to do a hit and run, and that's my favorite time to hit because I can just go up there and not think because I'm like, I have to swing. There's no, I'll get in trouble if I don't swing. So she was swinging no matter what, and when you give a killer that type of leeway, she yams one.
Lauren Allred just sent it out of the park and put Texas Tech back on.
Listen to the sweet, sweet silence from this color commentator. Had nothing to say. Had nothing to say after having all that to say all game, Tyler. All that to say all game. She was silent.
Silent.
And then Demi put it away for good later in the inning.
Elder towards left. Got enough underneath it. 2 home runs in this inning for the Texas Tech Bats.
Also, Demi was
still nothing.
Close.
She had nothing to say about that one either.
Nothing.
Colored commentator. I'm not going to say her name. Everyone knows who it is. But anyway, she was talking mad shit about us all game, so I'm going to be petty.
She literally was. But the cool part about Demi's was that she was so close in this series. Like, I think the first game and the second game, I mean, it just went foul by like an eyelash. Like, she was so close, or it was hitting the wall, and then it was like turning into a double. But she was so close, and then finally she broke through when it mattered most. Got us the biggest conference series win, I think, of the entire season. And we ended up beating Arizona at their own place. Everyone said, oh, yeah, Arizona's going to cook y'all, like, whatever. But no, we proved them wrong. It was that Red Raider magic, and it was our first time we came back after being down 0-1. We came back and won the next 2. So when they punch us, we get back up and punch twice. And that's what we showed the country.
Yeah, I think that was a moment that this team also started to believe that they could really be what we wanted them to be, and they were built to be. It was a turning point for the season to go on the road at a perennial powerhouse like that, a team that a lot of people they were ranked ahead of you coming into the series. A lot of people thought you were going to lose, like Tyler said, and you didn't just win, you took control of the Big 12, and it allowed you to win the Big 12, which is my next moment, which is also Demi Elder. So shocker that we Texas Tech fans here would have 2 Demi Elder moments in our top moments. That's fair, though. She deserves it after everything she did for this school. So you go to the next series, which was at home. Down the line, eventually we play Arizona State for a chance to get the Big 12 championship, the first Big 12 championship in school history. There's a doubleheader because every freaking home series was a doubleheader because of weather. This one was as well. In game 1, if we win game 1, we clinch at least a share of it. So we know we're winning the first Big 12 title, school history. We're murdering them, doing all the damn thing. It gets up into the 5th inning or 6th inning, whatever it is, and Demi has a chance to walk it off and run rule walk off. And the reason this is cool, if you don't know the story, if you're new here, which is a lot of people, that's fine. Demi is the only 4-year Red Raider on this team this past year. She had 4 coaches. She'll tell you she had 4 coaches in her time here because one that recruited her, then she played for 3 different coaches in her 4 years here. A lot of ups and downs, and she stayed for all of it. So for Demi Elder to be the one at the plate in this moment and to do this was really special for people that have been around this program. And I was there, and I told this story after that episode. I had my own video of it on Twitter, and I turned to the person and said, it would make a lot of sense for Demi Eller to be the one that wins the Big 12 for us. And sure enough, she yams it right out of the park and she gets it done. It was a special moment in the ballpark for the people that had been there. And you could feel it. And you could feel it from her family and her friends and her teammates. And they didn't celebrate a whole bunch because they had another game after this to go win it outright. But it was cool that Demi had this moment. So we'll play it for you.
And all of that in just 36 at-bats. The 1-0 lifted to right. Going back on it is Mejia.
Coach Beach.
It's gone. A 3-run shot from Demi Elder to end it. 9-0 Texas Tech, and they'll run rule Arizona State in the first game of the weekend.
Pretty cool. Just a cool moment.
Wow.
Some sports are pretty cool sometimes. We talked about that a lot in the episode after that happened, so y'all can go back and watch it. But sports are pretty cool, and we said, and I think in the episode she was going to have some big moments to come in the postseason, and she absolutely did to finish out her career on the biggest stage. It was cool to see, but it was neat. So yeah, that was that, and then that, I'll just say, combine that with the game that happens after that, where it was a real good team win. They win it. Lauren Oliver talked about that in some interviews where she felt like that was a turning point for the team, was to be able to win these games against Arizona State and win the Big 12, where they really started to see what they could be. And then the celebration afterwards was special. I almost just put that as one of the moments, but I wanted to give the players the shine, the individual moments. But if you were there that game, you know what we're talking about. The celebration after with the fans and all that on the field was something I'll never forget for sure. So that's mine. Tyler, what do you got?
Yeah. So my last one is against Texas A&M, first game that we're playing against them, right? A&M's ranked number 5. Now, to set the scene here, we had just played UNT, I think that Wednesday, before we were supposed to go to the A&M tournament Friday through Sunday. And Naja ended up getting injured, so then we had this whole entire pitching carousel go on afterward. We didn't get the win against UNC.
Terrifying days. Terrifying days.
Yes, terrifying. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people on this team that was like, oh crap, like what's going to happen to our season? Like what's going to go on? We didn't know if Nyjah was going to return, like especially that weekend against A&M. I had already bought tickets. I was bringing all my friends. I was like, you need to see this like awesome pitcher, the best in the country. And I was like, oh no.
Oh,
but next thing you know, I'm sitting there in section 109 at Davis Diamond, and I see on the thing the starters, and Nyjah Kennedy walks out, and I'm like, all right, she's a dog. She is going to battle through. 1 week later, find out that it was a hamstring injury. She's going to battle through this hamstring injury. Yes, a very significant one. She's going to battle out against this top-rated Aggie team that was number 1 in the RPI, ended up being the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. And we put these Aggies, we just shut them up the entire game. We set the tone early in the first inning, and Nyjah ends up getting 10 strikeouts. So she just suffered an injury, and she's like, all right, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to cook. 10 strikeouts against the number 1 RPI team and some of the best hitters in the country, such as like Coco Woolley, Ali Enright, all of these huge people, Maya Perez. And she just like handles them like a champ. So let's watch Nyjah strike all 10 of these fools out.
Good times. Let's watch it. I want to enjoy it. I was in the middle of moving to Texas during all this, but it was lovely.
Have it not called, and now you end up with a run on the board. Swing and a miss. There's the strikeout.
At like 25%, probably.
Change up. The way that she's been able to do is super impressive. You can tell too that she feels the pitch to them because they were so far back. There's that change up. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Kennedy.
There we go.
Strikeout number 6. For Nyjah Kennedy.
Sit down.
Enright going on the swing, and she will be thrown out. Valdez with a nice throw down to second. Enright.
It was actually a strikeout. It's fine. That's when they showed it. Anyway.
Caught stealing.
They changed the scoring after that.
Strike 3.
There we go.
And you can see
looking.
The emotion for Nyjah Kennedy as she is pumped for that last out. There it is, and strikeout number 8 on the night for Kennedy. The lineup because she's just been that good. But a great pitch right there. To move forward and make it better the next time.
Here we go. It's crazy. Like,
it's like when we're still like getting used to watching her. Just looking back.
Yes.
This one up.
Easy money.
Easy money for Lex. That's light work.
Easy money. And it was so funny because all of these A&M fans that were around me were just like telling their hitters like, be a hitter, hit the ball. And they're like, well, you know, if we wouldn't have had, they're like, oh, you know, if we wouldn't have had 2 errors, like we would have beat Texas Tech easily, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you forgetting that 10 of your best batters like in the country arguably just like swung at everything possible and just like had to go back to the dugout? Like, no, y'all weren't going to win this game even if y'all went clean. So y'all sit down. And that's why y'all got knocked out in your regional and didn't even make it out and became the first team to do so. So Texas Tech set that tone early. We knew A&M was beatable, and we showed that. We were the first team to make them lose their confidence.
Got in their head early, you know?
We did. Yep.
Early. Yeah, that was the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, y'all, and we beat them early in the year. And that was definitely a sign that, like, yeah, we can, when we have all of our pieces there, we can do this and not even fully healthy. So I love that moment. I love that you picked that because a weaker person could have been like, I'm not risking. And again, I don't think she was risking anything. They wouldn't have put her out there if she wasn't healthy enough to play. But she could have been like, this hurts really bad. Like, I'm not doing this. It's not even conference. Like, no. But she understood, like, she could probably see the faces of her teammates and all the concern and the wondering and the questions. And she just wanted to put that to bed and said, I can go out there and play at 75% if that's what I need to do. Let me just go show everybody that I'm good. And she went out there and did that. And then everything kind of stabilized from there. Because we had a couple of losses we shouldn't have had right before this. Got this win, and then it was just kind of, it was slow, but it was like progression. The rest of the year just got better to what they were at the end of the year. So, yeah, that was a very important moment in their progression.
Well, and this one was important, and I think this one was really important too because you think about, College Station being so close to Houston, and a lot of our Red Raider softball alumni were there. A lot of these players' family were there. I mean, Vic Valdez is from the Houston area,
A lot
and
of our
she
players
hit
are from
her
Houston.
last home run that she ever hit this
Yeah.
season was at A&M. So a lot of our players are from the Houston area, and it was a homecoming for them. So for us to get that win against an arch rival is just so huge, and I think that everybody on the team really enjoyed that. So just good
Yeah.
times.
And now everybody, hopefully, will get them to come to Lubbock and return the favor next year. That's what we're
Yes.
hoping. And Texas to come up there as well. So, yeah. So there's a lot of moments we could have chose, but we felt like we had to have at least one from the World Series in here. And Leah just mentioned it. Lauren Sack fly to beat OU. Yep. That is one that we have in here. To be able, it's not just that we beat OU to end their 5-peat quest, the team that had won it 4 years in a row, the team that no one was sure you would ever be able to knock out in that stadium with their home crowd. For it to be us, our first time there, not supposed to have made it this far. It was cute, Texas Tech, that you made it here. You're supposed to lose to UCLA. You're supposed to be gone by now. You're not supposed to be in the semifinals playing OU. This is not what's supposed to happen. OU's going to find a way to win 2 against you today, and that'll be the end of it. We control this game throughout, right? Looking good, and then Sooner Magic pops its head up there. I mean, it's a real thing. It is.
It's
I
don't
a real
understand.
thing, and they hit a 2-run bomb from their 9-hole hitter with 2 strikes and tie the game in the top of the 7th. Luckily, we're the home team because we earned that right. Even though it's their quote-unquote home ballpark, we were the home team. And we didn't let it get us, and we walked on up there, and we have some big hits. Maya Davis gets on base to set the table. Tony hits a long, deep fly ball that we thought walked it off, but it was close to get Maya the third. And then Lauren Allred walks up there. And everybody knew, if you watch this team, you know Lauren Allred's going to get the ball to the outfield.
We all knew.
Everybody knew. Unless they threw the ball in the dirt, she was going to swing into that thing and get it out there because she's probably our best get the ball, contact on the ball hitter. Like, she can just do what you need her to. And she did it and brought in Maya. And Maya Davis, even better part of the story, Maya Davis was 0 for 8 entering this game. The fact that we were even 2-0 with Maya Davis being 0 for 8 at this point in the College World Series is pretty crazy. And a credit to the rest of the team. But when the team needed her the most, she stepped up, got on base. And this run that she scores is her 64th of the year, and it sets a program record for runs scored in a year. So there's a lot happening in this, a lot of big moments. Just enjoy it, y'all.
Allred's first pitch swinging into right. Barker loads up. Davis to the plate. Save!
Goosebumps again.
Texas Tech has done it.
Pills.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh, Sam.
Dynasty in college softball history.
The best surrender cobra ever.
Storm to the championship series.
They were so hyped.
Wow.
Oh, man, I could watch that over and over and it not be enough, Tyler. It was just special. It was just special. And I just knew, and I said that on that recap show episode that we did. And by the way, that's why we're not recapping the games. So if you want those, we've basically recapped all the World Series games after they happened. They're on our YouTube page. But I just knew that we were going to win. And I just trusted it. And I was upset that she hit the home run, but I was like, it's fine. It's just annoying that we're going to have to maybe go to extras now. But little did I know, they'll just take care of it here in the bottom of the 7th. The energy in that stadium, Tyler, was insane. I know it's an OU home crowd, but that place was loud when we did that. Everybody was hugging each other. And I know people are like, it was your national championship, whatever. It wasn't. They were just excited to have done it, and they should have celebrated it that way. Anybody would have. It was cool. I'm glad that they got to have that moment because now that we know how it ends and that they didn't win a national championship, they at least have that moment to remember forever. And I think to bring up Demi again, they asked her in the post game. Someone asked her about her history at Texas Tech, and she brought up the whole fact that she had 4 coaches and the ups and downs. And she said, but to have that moment and that feeling just now on that field after that walk-up, I wouldn't trade anything. I wouldn't trade this for the world because of what she just experienced right there in that moment. I think that kind of says everything. So it was impossible to not have that on the list for this reason. It was just a special moment for sure.
Yeah, and I think that what was so cool about ending the dynasty at OU's basically place in the World Series, I mean, it's just cool because us Red Raiders softball fans, we've had some rough outings against OU. I mean, there was a lot of games that went like, that we lost like 20-0, 15-0, 11-0, 14-0. I'm reading them now, 11-1, 15-2. I mean, we did not have it easy against them. It was our first time beating them since I think 2012 or something like that. So the fact that we were able to get that done and just like, end something on their quest to get their fifth title was just so it's just so cool. Like that definitely is like a moment that has to be like a top 5 moment in Texas Tech sports history, like in my opinion,
sure.
because it was just, I mean, it's just insane. Like I just never thought that game was so hype, and it's just so cool to see that we did that. Like we did that. Texas Tech did that.
That happened.
Our first time in the Women's College World Series, we took care of business. We defeated Sooner Magic when it tried to come up and get us, and yeah, we did that. We did the damn thing. So just such a cool moment. Like, oh, I'll forever remember that game.
We did that. That is the perfect description of that moment. We did that. Sooner Magic happened, and then Red Raider Magic said, hey, we may be new here. But we got some magic building of our own, and we're going to build on that. Next time we get there, we're going to remember that. It's just such a huge building block for the program, not to just beat OU, but to know, like, hey, we've been here. We've been in these moments. We're all right. And you saw that all year for sure, and that was kind of the culmination of it. So those are our moments. We could have kept going forever, y'all. We could have picked like our top 10 each, but then this episode would have just gone on for days. So maybe we'll save some of them when we get some guests on here, some players on here, and we'll talk through some of our moments with them that they were a part of. Maybe that's what we'll do. A couple of honorable mentions we kind of mentioned already. Sam Lincoln, the freshman left-hander, threw a perfect game early in the year against UMass. I think it was like the first perfect game maybe in school history, or the first one by a freshman at least, for sure. And there's no video of it, so we couldn't even use it as a moment because it was one of those games early in the year that wasn't streamed. But I remember I was in line to get on a boat on a cruise when it happened. Someone texted me and said, Sam just threw a perfect game. I was like, I believe that. Like, she's got some good stuff, and we got to see it. So she's a very talented player, and very, very promising future for that. And we got to see Sam kind of show that out, and she no-hit Texas to end that Texas game as well that we lost on Saturday as well. So I personally
$2.4 million.
hope she's around for a while, but we'll see. But yeah, she did her damn thing in front of everybody, and so proud of her for bookending her year with a perfect game to start it, and then a no-hit 3 innings against Texas to end it. So shout out the freshmen. And then we already talked about the steal at home by Lubbock's own Michaela Garcia against UCLA. That might have been the most viral moment of the tournament. I don't have the numbers on that, but that thing was everywhere, Tyler. So
it was. That was all just over the place.
The guts of Glasgow to call it, the trust in her head coach to just be like, you're crazy, but all right, let's do it. And then the execution.
In between the catcher's legs.
The picture is epic. The blocking, the way in which Vic Valdez played that role perfectly to block the catcher. All of it was great. So those would be some honorable mention. I'm sure we're forgetting some, but I just felt like we needed to mention those, or some people would be down our back. But there was a lot of great moments this year.
Too many.
I mean, I'm so sad it's over. It was just such a fun ride.
Me too. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, that's what someone said to me the other day. They're like, what am I supposed to do? I've been watching softball every day for 2 weeks, is basically what they said. And they're like, they were like, I'll be honest, I hadn't watched a game until 2 weeks ago, but I feel like I've watched one every night for 2 weeks straight, and now I don't know what to do with my life without Texas Tech softball on TV, is what someone tweeted. I was like, I feel seen. But yeah, just go back and rewatch all the games you missed, all the moments we just talked about. Go find the replays of them if you really want some, because they were special for sure. And a lot of this team should be back next year, and you get to experience it again. But good times for sure. A couple people that unfortunately won't be back are our seniors. So we've already done like a senior appreciation show, but wanted to give a shout out to our seniors, Demi Elder and Alexa Langlers, one more time, and just say thank you. And just say thank you for what you did here, both of you. I'll say mine, and then Tyler can do whatever he has to say for him. But Demi, just thanks for being a Red Raider. Thanks for staying. You didn't have to stay through all of that. we said this before, but just proud of you. That sounds weird. I don't know you like that, but just like you should feel proud of what you did and the fact that you stuck around and what you got to experience and to have the big moment she did on the biggest stage was really cool to see. Hopefully we'll get her on the show at some point and we'll get to learn about what Demi has in her future. Maybe we'll have her on the show, whether it's this summer or previewing next year's like team or postseason run. She's a Red Raider for life. We'll have her around. So she's kind of like the epitome of Texas Tech softball over the last few years. Like she was like that symbol of that. And then Alexa, I don't think gets the credit she deserves for transferring in as a senior into the situation she did. I think people appreciate her, but like I know how hard that had to have been to. She didn't want to transfer at first, and then she felt like she needed to make that choice, and she has to go somewhere for her final year, and that's not easy. And then to step into a situation where you're one of two seniors and you're asked to lead a group of people that you don't even know outside of the ones you've played with, you don't even know how to get to your classes, and you're being asked to lead people on the team, you know what I mean? With this whole new group of players, that's got to be hard. Like she's probably like the freshmen know how to get around this freaking campus better than I do. And you want me to lead them? Like, but she did it with grace. I thought she was a steady force out there. Took some hard hits along the way, literally. Got ran over and just stayed in games. She's a dog. And we hope to have Alexa on the show soon, if all goes to plan. So you get to know her more. But yeah, I appreciate both of them. And this team would not have been where they were without their leadership. Very undervalued, I think, to have the two seniors we did this year. There's only two of them, but they're different personalities in the way they went about it. But I think they were both very needed.
I agree. Yes. Demi, I'm just, again, very proud of you for sticking it out. I mean, that's not an easy thing. You don't see that nowadays. It probably could have been so easy to just transfer and take the easy way out, but you decided that Texas Tech was where you wanted to be. This is where you wanted to get your degree. This was what you called home, and you wanted to stay there. And I think that is such a huge testament to your character and what you were able to provide to this program. I mean, honestly, you were there to help kind of bring together, like tell the newbies, like, hey, like this is what we do around here. This is kind of like the Texas Tech way. This is how to be West Texas tough. The newcomers were able to have her kind of as like familiarity. They were able to rely on her, be on her side. I know that Reagan and Logan both were still very close with Demi. I mean, they're roommates. So just really cool to see someone do that. You don't see athletes that do that. And for her to, win us the Big 12 regular season championship and to have so many clutch hits in the Women's College World Series and the whole tournament. I mean, I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that Demi stayed. So yes, we're very, very proud over here to do that. And then Lex, thank you for coming in. I know that, again, that was really tough. She came in later in the summer. And then to make that decision to be like, all right, I'm here to lead this group of girls, and we're going to go help Glasgow out and get them to the Women's College World Series. Let's help complete our shot at forever, along with playing with Nyjah. As you said, she was a steady force out there. Second base is a really tough position to play, and she held that down pretty well. She had so many crazy plays. She was literally taking one for the team. She would be getting hit all the time. I know, just insane. I mean, just insane things. My favorite moment, honestly, with Lex was also at Baylor, where her brother played, and she hit like those two home runs in one game. I mean, that the crowd was so hyped. So thank you, Lex, for being a Red Raider. I mean, she's absolutely been so fun to kind of see her personality and press conferences and all of the things, and for the team to just kind of have her there like that. I think it was very fitting to have, someone from that Louisiana core be a senior leader, and then someone from, the old Texas Tech core to be a senior leader. Glasgow couldn't have chosen or could not have had two better people on his team to lead that and to kind of help mend them together. So thank y'all. We really, really appreciate it. And we wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all, because I'm sure that when things were getting hard in practice or throughout the season, y'all were the ones that were like, all right, guys, let's get back together. Let's remember the main goal. We've been through this for 4 years straight. We each have different experiences. This is how you do it. Just trust us. So huge for them.
For sure. Yeah. Can't say enough about them. I'm sad that we only got 1 year with Alexa. It feels like we need more than just 4 years with Demi. I feel like if the NCAA was going to give out these fifth years like candy, why could Demi Elder not get a fifth year? Seems wrong. Tyler, just seems wrong. But
it does.
Yeah. So appreciate that. I think their mark has been left on these players. Alexa worked really well with Haley Toney and Bailey and in the infield, and I think they're going to grow because of that. And Demi was just, I mean, great with the entire team. I feel like she really bonded them and kind of steadied them, and she had a good time out there. We're going to have to find someone to carry on the vibes that Demi did for this team. I'm sure someone will step up and do that. So that is your seniors. Couple notes in the comments. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Did you get it signed? I don't know if you're from Lubbock when the team came, but that can be a goal of yours. Just bring it to every game for the rest of forever and try to get enough autographs for it. But that's cool. I love that. Yeah. It'll always be the first. We're going to have a championship pennant to add to that next year is the goal, but that one will always be the first that you have there. Jamie in the comments, did y'all give a portal update? So excited about the catcher. So I guess that's a good segue into the future. We'll give a brief portal update because this was about thanking the team for what they did, but I know a lot of people have questions on that. We did a whole video on Jazzy Burns, is who he references here, the Ohio State catcher that committed to Texas Tech. Probably the video right before this. My brain hurts, but I think that was the last video we did. It's like a 20-minute video, so we talked all about her, Jamie. You can watch that. But yes, if you missed that, Texas Tech did pick up one portal commit so far, a pretty good one, I'd say. A first-team All-American catcher, hit like 455 or something with 25 home runs, maybe like 14 doubles, something like that. She committed on Monday. What is life? Was that Sunday?
She committed on
Sunday.
Saturday. No, Saturday.
Whatever day. It was right
Saturday.
after the celebration thing. I was like home from that and barely about to go to sleep. And then Jazzy was like, "You don't get sleep seeing Scarlett. Y'all have to work." So I love that. Happy to work. So yeah, she's a big get. I'm excited to see her get officially signed and all those things, and get to see her in a Red Raider uniform. And here in the fall, hitting a lot of yabooms. She is great. I hear she's great. She is very good. That was a really big pickup and a really great one. And someone pointed this out on Twitter. I didn't make the connection at first, but she wears number 12. And if you've been following this team throughout the postseason, you know that number 12 was a very important number to this team, or at least the coaching staff, because it's Jerry Ann's, Coach Glasgow's late daughter's number that she wore in college. And so there's that story going around about all the places he saw number 12. We were number 12 seed. The first big portal recruit that he picks up wore number 12 at Ohio State. If she wears it here, I would assume she would. But so yeah, that's who is coming in as Jazzy Burns. We did have 5 players. I want to give a shout out to all of them because I love all of them. Big fans that decided to hit the portal today. Reagan Jennings, she's about to have plenty of suitors. Understand the move. Not going to say I was necessarily surprised. I get it from all ends, but she deserves to play every day, and she was gracious this year and never complained, and was the best pinch hitter in America, as Coach Glasgow called her, an All-American pinch hitter, led this team in batting average, and about 80 at-bats. She hit 398. You need someone to get the ball to the outfield, get a single. Reagan Jennings is going to do it more times than not, right? She's a great teammate, never complained, competitor. We got to see her play as a freshman, covering her. She played every day that season, was all Big 12 freshman team, and then was just a great role, a contributor on this team. We would not have made it as far as we did without her as that pinch hitter role. So best of luck to Reagan Jennings. Got to see her do her thing. Kylie Huffman was a freshman. We got to see come in and out. She had some big moments early in the year. Sydney Schiller was a freshman as well. She had some pinch running moments. Anya German had some big moments early in the year, got injured. It kind of just derailed her season. So I get it. It's tough. And then Brinley Gonzalez, we know, y'all know we're a big fan of Brinley around here. It's a hard place to work your way into the circle when Naja Kennedy exists, but she's a left-handed pitcher that throws some fun stuff up there, and she had some big moments for Texas Tech, especially early in the year. Didn't she close out one of those top 25 wins at Clearwater, if I remember right? She came in at the end of the game or something.
Yeah, closed out Nebraska, actually.
Closed out Nebraska.
Yes.
That was probably like the moment for her, and then things went in a different direction. It happens. So appreciate all of them. Nothing but love. I can't wait to see. I'm not a bitter person when it comes to the portal. I get it. They got to go do what they got to do, and I'm actually excited for a lot of them to get a big opportunity to play somewhere next year. And some of them could be on very competitive teams, and we might even face them.
Right. It might happen, yes. But yeah, shout out to all of them. Again, we can't stress this enough. Without them, we probably would not be where we made it all the way to the Women's College World Series championship game. Reagan came up clutch. She's the one that actually won the Big 12 title regular season outright. So after Demi won at least a share, she won it outright with her clutch hit. And yeah, Kylie, Sydney, Anya, Brinley, all of those freshmen came up so huge for us this year. Sometimes you couldn't even tell that they were freshmen out there. So yeah, they were just really, really great players, and I'm just super proud of them. I'm glad that they at least spent 1 year as a Red Raider, and helped us get to where we are. And yeah, good luck to them. And I know that they're going to do great things at their new schools. So.
Absolutely. I'll definitely be following closely where they end up. They were
For
all
sure.
a part of the record-breaking moments. Every single one of them got into a game this year, so they were definitely absolutely part of this team. And they all had kind of like a moment that they can remember. I know Kylie had some RBIs. I know Sydney she scored a run in one of those early games. Was she the one that scored that Nebraska game? You have to go back and look. She scored a run in one of the early big wins. And Anya had that big hit against Texas early. She had a great at-bat in the World Series. Just now, her last at bat for Texas Tech should have been a walk. She got robbed. Horrible strike call amongst chaos. Horrible call, Anya. Should have gotten on base there, but it was a great at bat. And then Brinley's just had a lot of big moments, so I'm gonna miss her. And she's kind of from the area of Texas Tech too, in West Texas. So we'll see where she ends up. But wish them the best. All love from us. Once you play at Texas Tech, your seeing scholars gonna follow your career and like all your stuff. You can ask any of the former players. We're always in their comments, still hyping them up. Don't worry, we got you. As far as what else is happening, there are visitors ongoing right now. I'm not going to say names because if they don't want it out there, we're not going to put it out there. But they have visitors ongoing this week. Perhaps that means we'll see some commitments that come from that. Hopefully, there's some really, really good players that they're bringing in, and that's what happens when you are the national runner-up. A lot of people want to now play for you. And they want to join that group, and they want to be a part of the team that goes back next year and wins the whole damn thing. And so that's the caliber of players they're bringing in. And should they start to commit, I think, they will, some of them at least, you're going to see the caliber of player that they're bringing in here to join. And then it'll be about chemistry and how they fit together. And that's where you got to trust your seniors to make it happen like Lex and Demi did with this group. Next year's seniors are going to have to do that with this new group of players. So, yeah, that's kind of my portal update. As players sign, we'll have all the content. Like we did the video on Jazzy. We'll post a video with information on everyone will get their own video, and they all announce on the same day or something. But they'll probably all get their own video, and we'll talk about them. And we'll do episodes throughout the offseason on stuff. Again, we're trying to get Alexa Langoliers on the show here soon. We think we have that worked out. We'll see. And then if we can get any other players. If you have any player requests, a lot of people were requesting Demi and Alexa because they're seniors, and so we reached out to both. Hopefully we'll get Demi on. But if there's any players you want to come on the show in the offseason, if we can steal them away from their vacaying, we'll do our best to do that for you guys. But that's what I got. Tyler, you got any final thoughts?
Just thank you to the softball team for letting us have such a great season. It was such a fun time to travel with them and, do all the fun things, get to watch them play. I'm so glad that this year turned out really, really great. And yeah, I'm just so ready for next year when we win the title. Nyjah being a senior leader, I mean, I don't know if anyone in the country would understand how huge that is for Nyjah to be finally a senior leader in her last year. We're definitely going to do so many great things. And this was a really great start off for her at Texas Tech. Now she has some unfinished business that she can attend to and get the whole team on board. So Let's go. Let's do it.
We should have clipped that from her press conference. Go back and watch the final team press conference. It was great all around from the players to the coaches. It should be on YouTube, that press conference after the Texas loss. Nyjah said in there, she's like, hey, basically kind of what we said, we probably weren't supposed to be here. You're supposed to get to the World Series, and you're supposed to learn lessons once you get here the first time as a team. And we learned our lessons in the World Championship Series, and I think that's pretty cool. And so you could tell that they were upset, but she had a little bit of fire in her eyes already to get this team back next year. So I hope they're at the beach or something right now and enjoying a little vacay time, a little downtime. But I'm sure please, chill for a little bit. Just take a week off. Let's I know you're killers, but just 1 week and celebrate it. And then I'm sure they'll be back to work in July when the team starts getting together. And again, fall ball. I know that was a thing we had to convince y'all was a real thing with softball last year. I don't think we need to convince y'all. I need y'all to be there in the fall to support this team and the new players that'll be there as well, which should come out over the next couple weeks. Definitely subscribe, there's going to be a lot of softball news coming. I'm just not one that's going to spoil the fun for the players until they commit. But there's some fun news ahead. So
Right.
stay tuned. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Thank you, Texas Tech softball, for an amazing season, an amazing ride. I cannot wait for next season already, but this team, special. You will be remembered forever. Our Shoutout forever, in my opinion, was a success because.
Agreed.
So, all right, y'all. Wreck 'em.
Wreck 'em.